All right. So some common questions that come in the midlife, still going in line what we just read, questions like, am I doing well compared to others? There is a temptation to compare yourself to others, it's just human to do that, it's human to do that, but there's a big deficiency in doing that. You have to be careful what you're comparing, because most often than not, we compare our weaknesses to other people's strength, right? The question you're asking is, for my age, am I where I should be? Not as much as me comparing myself to others. We're all different, and you'll never truly know how others are doing because they won't necessarily tell you. They're just going to tell you their good points. They're going to tell you your strengths. They will not necessarily tell you the things they are struggling with, So more than comparing yourself to others is comparing yourself to your goals based on the goals you've set for your life. How are you doing? Right. That's more important than comparing yourself to others. Are you doing in line with a target you've set for yourself? One of the prayers I prayed, to God as I was growing and I saw younger people coming up is, God, at every age in my life, may I be able to carry the responsibilities of the age that I am in, and God has answered my prayer. God has answered my prayer. At every age, I can do what my age requires of me to do, right? It's not as much as me comparing myself to other people, but me being satisfied with my life, right? Being able to carry the responsibilities, the burdens that my age requires. That is more important than comparing myself to other people. That is why I find my peace. I have done a good job. I'm not perfect, but I have done a good job at this point in time. I can still do a better job, but I have done a good job, right? And I'm not resting on my horse. I'm still working. I'm still doing a good job. But so far, so good. I have set goals for myself and I have made mistakes. I've also done a lot of good things, right? So I'm not comparing myself to anybody. None of us we didn't come to life together. I came alone, and based on me alone and the goals I've set for my life, and looking at the books I studied where I should be, I am doing a good job. I could do a better job, but I am doing a good job, and that's all that matters, right? So the other question is, am I in a rush? That's important. Whether you're not more producing, you're not more growing, you're stuck, and that's a good question. And I have had to answer that. I've shared this several times. A few weeks ago, I had to, look at my life, another learning moment for me, where I found myself doing some things for the sake of doing them, not growing and not producing results, so I had to correct myself. It's about doing things, about producing results. Life is not about just doing, it's about producing results. You're not going to be happy if you're not growing, right? To be happy, you must grow. When you grow, you'll be happy, so it's not about doing things for the sake of doing it, but doing things because you have a reason, a purpose for doing it. Without reason, you lose your humanity, right? Our humanity is found in our purpose and our reasoning for doing things, right? So I've had to correct different things in my life, even including my exercise, right? I don't just do exercise just because, I got to the place where I thought, all right, every 5 a.m. do it, and sometimes I was just doing it at 5 a.m., without my mind in there. Had to bring my mind to a lot of things I do, and be a part of it, be present in the moment. Be present in the moment. Yes, it's good to form habits, that would trump mere motivation. But even in habits, you need to bring your mind to the game. You need to be present in what you do so you can get the beauty, the value of what you are doing. You're not just whiling away time, but you are getting the fullness of presence in what you're doing. right? So when I do my exercises, I am present in the moment. I'm not just checking the box. Even though I'm jogging, I am present in the moment. I'm making the best of that moment while I am exercising. I am there meditating, thinking about my life, as well as getting the value of the exercise that I do, right? When I come in and I pray Monday to Friday, it's not just to check the box. I am present in that moment and getting the value, the intent, the purpose of what I am doing. I was about canceling that, but I see that someone that joins me gets blessed by it, and if there was only one reason I didn't cancel it was because of her, because left to me was like, if no one is getting blessed, why do it? I was going to cancel it, but I paid the price to do it only because of her, and I'm getting the benefit myself in doing that. I don't want to get into a rut in anything that I do, right? I don't want to do things for the sake of doing it. I want to do things that have life in them, right? So that's what I did a few weeks ago. Check my whole life, right? I don't want to get into doing things just because I want to make all I just want to check the box, do it because I want people to call me this or that. I'm going past that. I'm going past that. Age, I'm going past that, right? I do things because there's a reason for doing it, not just for doing it, right? So I'm offered a lot of things that will be a wrath in my life. I don't have to be anywhere. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to do what I'm doing right now. I do it because I choose to do it, and I believe there's value in it. That is the only reason I'm doing it. When that value stops being there, I'm going to stop doing it, right? I believe that I am getting blessed. Like I say again, I'm the first person that gets blessed when I come and do this. Thanks, Pastor Fola. Thanks for coming along. Thanks for stopping by. I'm the first person that gets blessed doing this, right? And for as long as I'm getting blessed, I'll do it. I do find one or two other person probably gets blessed. Great. Right. The day I stop getting blessed with it and no other person is getting blessed, I'm done. I'm done doing it. But as long as this is a blessing, yes, right? I don't have to do it. I don't have to do it. I don't have to do anything, right? I only do things that I believe in, right? And the other thing about this age group is the other question we ask in this age group is, am I a good partner and parent? So, and one of the things I've shared one of my life goals, is to be the best husband there is, and I walk towards it. To be the best father there is, and I walk towards it. Those are my life goals, right? And those are questions that hit you in this age group. You're asking yourself, having come this far, how are you doing in your life goals? And the answer to those questions could create a crisis in your life, but irrespective of what the answer might be, you still have life ahead of you. You don't have to give up. Your answer might be that you're not doing a good job, but for as long as there's life, there's hope. You don't have to get into a crisis just because of your result, right? For as long as there's life, there's hope. Even if it's one more day you have to leave, what's important is what you do with the days you have left, right? You can't do anything about yesterday. You might have made a mistake. You might have missed it. You can only take the wisdom and do a better job, right? So do I have good relationship with my children? Some of those questions I get asked, if you're not, you can begin to build that relationship with your children. If you do, you can just continue at that and make it better. The other question that comes is, how many years do I have left? None of us knows. None of us knows. None of us knows. And that should not trouble you. That's another thing that brings about midlife crisis. You start worrying, oh, will I die tomorrow? Oh, maybe I have 2 more years. That's not within your control. Don't let the things you cannot do disturb the things you can do. Don't let the things that are outside of your control disturb the things that are within your control. God, life does not expect you to worry about the things that are outside your control. It expects you to not worry, but do something about the things you can do. Do something about the things that are within your control, not the things that are outside of your control, right? I have 4 more years or less at work. So I tell everybody that all the time, and I'm making the optimum use of it, right? Optimum use of it. I decided I'm done. I'm done competing. I couldn't be bothered if I get 1 naira more. It's my time to give back, and that's all I do every time I go to work. I just enjoy myself. I enjoy the people I work with, and I'm just there to be a blessing, to be a mentor, to be a help. I'm working for free right now. I don't have to do anything. I do everything that I do to give back. That's what I've decided with the remaining years I have in the workplace. So yeah. So it's making use of the wisdom you have up to today, and taking ownership of your journey going forward, right? And making use of the wisdom you have, So it's not about how many more years you have left. It's about making the best of what you are given, starting from today, right? Nobody's going to promise you tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow you die, who knows? But that's not you. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about the things you cannot control. Stay with the things you can control, right? So, does the life I am living have meaning beyond myself? That's another thing that produces crisis in this age, but and this age is all about legacy. When you focus too much on yourself, you're going to have a crisis, right? It's not as much as myself. It's about how am I a blessing to other people. One of my relations, in a midlife crisis, and was thinking about, she had wasted her life with a partner, with a husband. She felt all of that has been a waste, and all that thought ended up in a divorce, after 25 years of marriage. That's what midlife crisis can cause. A lot of people, when you wrongly use it, you're going to end up in disaster, right? It's not as much as yourself. It's about the legacy you're leaving behind. It's about how much you're affecting other people's life. What would you be remembered for, right? All the things that take place in your life on the inside of you, it's not just for inside of you. It's about how much you can use that to be a blessing to someone else, right? That's the essence of our being here, right? And that's the way you rightly use this age of life, is using all the experience of life you've gained to be a blessing to someone else, to leave a legacy for yourself, right? So the last question here is what people and purpose do I really care about, and how can I invest in them? How can I leave a legacy? What else do I want to do, right? So it's having that for yourself. If you don't have a goal, if you don't have a purpose set for yourself, you don't have a why, you're going to be sad. You're going to expose yourself to all the negatives in this time of life. And there is a website, I'll probably run through some of those things you're going to expose, as we close, that it is a reality that you live through this timeline, that it's not to defeat you, it's for you to overcome it. There are hormones that flow during this period. There's a period, women go through menopause, and menopause is not meant to defeat you. They're just hormones that flow at this period of time. You can overcome it. You don't have to use it as an excuse, to live less in life. You can use it to overcome, right? You can walk through it. It doesn't have to defeat you. It's a reality, which is not to defeat you. You can overcome it. You can learn from how other people have overcome it. It's not a debt. It's not a failure sentence. It's just part of life that you can use and overcome by what you know about it, right? Oh, so midlife or middle age is a transition period, between young adulthood to old age, right? You're going from a young adulthood where you have all that energy, you're setting up things for yourself, and you're transiting from that to old age, right? It's pretty much a consolidation of all the things you have set in place for yourself in the young adult age, right? The trajectory of which you are using to consolidate your achievements in life, right? Young adult age, you have energy, right? Hold on, this midlife, you don't have as much energy, but you have wisdom. Hopefully you can consolidate the things you have started building your young adult age here in your midlife, right? So we realize in this midlife that we're not we're not as young as we used to be. Like I said, things begin to fall apart. You know, you start losing your hair, you start having gray hair, you start maybe losing your vision. It's not that you're not seeing as well. See, I'm having to put on my glasses to see the writings, you know. So also our focus probably goes away from just having strengths, you know, to our responsibilities. We're asking you about our achievements in life, you know. Those are probably more important to us than just going from one party to the other, you know. So our life seems to be shedding some of the possibilities, you know. We don't have that strength to run after the things we've always had energy for, but then we have wisdom. What we lack in strength, we gain in wisdom, you know, and we if rightly used, we can achieve the same things, right? It's not necessarily the physical exertion, but we can use, you know, the wisdom to compensate for the energy we lack, right?